running a tough election for Congress, and Bill Clinton came out and spoke to us at 10 o'clock at night in the rain and helped propel me to victory. Bill Clinton knows how to get people excited. Bill Clinton also knows what it takes to be president of the United States of America, because he's been the president of the United States of America. So, I get to introduce the 42nd President of the United States of America, William Jefferson Clinton. Bill Clinton.
Thank you. Hello, Antioch. Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank the faculty and staff of Marsh Elementary and the Antioch Unified District. We have the superintendent here, the principal here, and a lot of teachers, and I thank them for the work they do. I want to thank Mayor Wade Harper for making me welcome and serving you. And I want to thank Congressman Jerry McNerney. I remember when I met this guy back in 2006, and I thought people are going to think he's overqualified for Congress because he's actually got a background in science and he knows things. I've always been surprised, that politics is the only thing and the only kind of work you can do where people are surprised if you actually know anything.
Yeah,
I know. Or if you believe in science or any of that. So in some ways they're not too surprised by what happened in the Republican primary, I guess. But anyway, here's what I want to say. First, to those of you who are supporting Hillary, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I thank you in two capacities. Yes, I am here as a member of the family, but I've also known her longer than anybody else who's out here campaigning for her, except the people she grew up with. And I think it tells you something that the people she went to elementary school with, the people she went to high school with, the people she went to college with, have gone all over America campaigning for her. It's easy to badmouth somebody in the media, but you can't fool somebody you grew up with. If the people who know you and who've known you all your life are for you, that's the best recommendation you can get. And the second thing is, I'm here because I once had this job that she's running for. And so here's what I want to say about that. I think that it's really important for our country, particularly for the young people here, that she win tomorrow and that she be the next president. I think it's important for three reasons. First, I think she's got the best ideas to create more jobs, raise incomes, reduce inequality, and restore upward mobility, which we desperately need in every part of America. Second, I think she's got the only person you can vote for left with proven ability to get the Republicans to work with her to get stuff done in a bipartisan Congress. And that's really important. And the third thing may be the most important of all. I don't know if any of you paid any attention to the speech Hillary gave down in San Diego.
Yes!
Basically taking on Mr. Trump's view of the world by using his own words. That's really important because he said a lot of crazy things, but you should understand that the ideas represented are being considered all over the world, not just in America. That is, we had that terrible financial crash 8 years ago. So all over the world, you've got people who are frustrated because their pay hasn't gone up, inequality in their country's gone up, upward mobility's gone down, and they're worried about whether their diversity is a weakness or a strength. In Europe, they're arguing about the biggest flow of refugees since World War II. In the Middle East, you know what they're worried about, ISIS and all the trouble. In Africa, you have 6 of the fastest growing economies in the world, but 3 big, strong terrorist groups. In Latin America, you have our closest trading partners, but Brazil, the biggest economy, is having political and economic troubles that could take them down. In Asia, China causes problems when they're doing well if they manipulate their currency, but now they're not doing so well, and we're worried that they're trying to manipulate super-nationalist feelings against the Vietnamese, against the Filipinos, against their neighbors, because that's what politicians do. When they can't make people happy at home, they try to get them mad at somebody else. In other words, there's a lot of trouble in this old world. And we're going to decide whether we want to lead the world toward a future with bridges or a future with walls. We're going to decide whether we're going to lead the world toward a future where we embrace our diversity or go inside and close the door.
No, don't do
And
that.
pursue the politics and the economics of division. We're going to decide whether we're going to lead the world to build a future economy where we can all rise together, or really listen to this, "I'll make America great again." That's a code word. I'm a white Southerner, I know. That's a code word. What it really means is, I'll make America great the way it was 50 years ago, which means you, the Trump supporters and the working class, will be relatively better off, and you'll be higher on the social totem pole. Well, if we do that, we'll lead the rest of the world down the same blind alley. You've got to elect a president who can keep us safe enough and give us space enough so we can all grow, together, and so we can prove that the future is better than the past, that unity is to be found in diversity, not division, and that security is to be found in bridges, not walls. And California basically is a litmus test for all that. I mean, just look around here. Somebody here from everywhere.
Yep.
America is on the forefront of this for a number of reasons. First, we're outperforming other big economies. For all of our problems, we've generated more jobs, 15 million in the last 5 years. For all of our problems, we got more than 90% of our people with health insurance for the first time in the history of America. For all of our problems, we brought 900,000 manufacturing jobs back to this country since the crash. The automobile industry is saved and is having record years. Is there too much inequality? Yes. Is there too little upward mobility? You bet. Does college cost too much and is its debt unmanageable? Absolutely. In other words, we have challenges. Are there places that have been totally left out and left behind?
Yes.
Do we have an epidemic of prescription drugs and heroin that's sweeping across America and cutting the heart out of small towns and rural Americans? Yeah, sure. All that's there. In spite of all that, we're in better shape than most countries because we have the youngest, most diverse workforce, because we got the top capacity in the world to generate electricity from the sun, the wind, and other clean resources in a way that lowers power costs, increases jobs, and liberates our future from the problems of climate change. We got the best science and technology base, the best university base in the world, the best job training base in the world. We just need to re-dignify job skills training. There are plenty of people who don't need a 4-year degree to get a good middle class income if they get the training they deserve and need to get it. So Hillary should be president, A, because she got the best ideas, B, because She's the only one who's got a proven record of accomplishing things with Republicans as well as Democrats. And C, because she's the only one with the knowledge, the experience, and the esteem in the rest of the world to lead us away from the dangers of both economic and political upheaval, to give us the space we need to grow so we can pull everybody along in the right direction. Now, think about it. How would we create more jobs and raise incomes? We need to invest more in serious infrastructure. Not just roads and bridges and ports and airports, but clean water pipes. Flint, Michigan is not the only place in America where kids have elevated lead levels in their blood from drinking water out of old pipes. If you took them all up and put new ones down, we could give every kid in this country a healthy future and put a ton of people to work. I'll give you another example. Rural America is by and large being left out of a lot of the economic activity in urban America. We have to reconnect them. If everybody in America had access to rapid, affordable broadband, that would be easy. That's part of our infrastructure program. If we were able to maximize the investment in solar and wind energy in every part of America and connect it to the electric grid, we would have a tremendous impact on the economy. Hillary wants to put up 500 million more solar panels. Now, when I say that in California, everybody said, yeah, well, Bill Clinton's losing it. Sure, we can do it in California, but what about the rest of the country? The second state in America in the deployment of solar panels is New Jersey. How about that? We can do that anywhere. I was in eastern Kentucky at the base of Appalachia near coal country at Morehead State. A little school's got a partnership with NASA. They're making nano satellites. You know, your cell phones, you use these big communication satellites in space. Those things cost $400 million a piece, those big satellites. At Morehead State, teenagers from eastern Kentucky are making nano satellites that weigh 8 pounds, cost $1 million, and can do a lot of what the big ones can do. And so I was talking to one of these young undergraduates who was jamming all this computing power into a little box about 1.25 inches cube. And he was explaining to me, and I said, tell me about the box. He said, it's tungsten. It does real well in outer space. 19-year-old kid from coal country. I said, well, where'd you get it? He said, I made it. I made it with a 3D printer. And then he looked at me and he said, now, Mr. President, he said, don't let people make fun of Hillary for saying she's going to put up 500 million solar panels. He said, a couple of years from now, we're going to be making solar panels with these 3D printers. They'll be cheap as dirt. They'll be on every house, every school, every factory in America. Our electric costs will drop dramatically. Our profitability will go up. Our incomes will be greater because people will pay less in electric rates every month. And he said, then we'll all be free and we're going to be able to go into the future together. A 19-year-old kid in a place that everybody else thinks is dying on the vine because it's too dependent on coal. Hillary knows if we're going to do this, we have to give the investment and the incentives for private investment to every rural area of the country, every Native American reservation, every inner city neighborhood that has been left out and left behind, because you can create jobs anywhere in America now because of the way the technology